Nigeria. Say it again. So pay attention. It is yet another strange year for this nation. And there's going to be strange deaths as well. I am also seeing a fierce infighting in different political families, having two big shots in mind here, APC and PDP. These fights will expose a lot of hidden truths that will stir up violence. Did you hear what I said now? What it will expose will trigger off some problems. Serious bitterness, agitation, in fact, war is roaming even from the very core of North, protesting the state of the nation. May God intervene in the state of the nation now. When this army of youths will storm the streets this time, they are not coming for peace. When they came with flag, you gave them trouble. When they will appear again, oh, we would have regretted the first action. There are two factions of protesters I am talking about. One will be civil in all ramifications. But the other, they will throw conscience to the winds. They will be very violent and bloody. For achieving the same purpose, there is still yet trouble roaming in the air. This time is going to be confrontational, and they are not going to give a damn. Terrible recession is yet roaming the atmosphere over this nation. I am seeing dialogues on how to resolve issues taking place at different geopolitical zones. But nothing is going to come out of it which may trigger off the unexpected. Mad Nigerians are coming into this country, and they are coming to make demands from this year on. It may be a continuous, it may roll over. And if care is not taken, they will institute a government within the government. Given the current spiritual situation, I am afraid of anarchy. General conditions. It is yet another bloody year. Hot agitation will take public figures and families. It is a well-organized agitation, well-informed, and they have their targets. Unfortunately, genuine wealthy persons will be caught up in a trap. You know, mob action is always dangerous. A strange attack with naked and liquid fire is hatching up somewhere. I saw houses of both rich and prominent persons blazing up with, in smokes. A people are determined to seize up the government, and this calls for urgent fervent prayer beginning now. Darkness is yet roaming over this country. Don't think help is going to come from outside. Why? There is a war power conspiracy against the country. Some of you who were here some years ago will remember that when we came back from Kafachan, and I announced that there is an international conspiracy to bring down the economy of this country. That was when God told us first time. Help will come from only God alone. And that's why I have said everybody must pray. I saw a boiling kettle at the center of the northern region. As little as that kettle is, the noise of the boiling is so serious, and it's going to cause serious concern to the authority. A warrior very unassuming, is coming. Oh. A warrior is coming. Oh. It's not anybody you have been hearing his name before now, remember? But the guy has been strategizing and will likely give a sudden attack that will shake the northern leaders and even their belief system. Did you hear what I said? I repeat, there is need for serious prayers. I am seeing bomb attacks that will be uncontrollable to undermine the government and create a sense of fear in the society. There is so much uncertainties. Therefore, in all your movements, be careful, be vigilant. The nature of wickedness and violence I'm seeing is heavy for both man and for government to contend. We really need divine intervention. The church. Everybody say the church. Say it again. You know, I've been talking to you about the fact that politicians and governments are no more comfortable with the church. Pray over the church leaders so that God shall grace us with wisdom. Wisdom in our speech and in our utterance, so that they will not be entrapped quickly in the government traps. There is so much bitterness. There is so much bitterness against the church and church leaders with this government. Church, they say, in the spirit, they are saying that the church is the brain behind the protest against the government. The devil's children will attack with violence. Church leaders and their families, if we do not pray through, they were ready to kidnap. And they have already organized the plan to kidnap great ministers. Some of them for outright killing. Some will demand for ransom. And the ransom they will demand will be outside this space to provide. And even after being paid, they will not spare the life. We must take this serious and pray now. Somebody say Igbos. Somebody say Igbos. Don't you think it's necessary to talk about our people? Huh? I am first an Igbo man. Cry as a people, for there is a grand plan in place by some wicked personalities from two major tribes to clamp down the Igbos economically, to weaken their economic base. Thus, some hoodlums will be sponsored to attack the financial and market basis with fire. Again, certain policies are going to roll out to bear against our businesses to control the Igbos politically. If we do not pray, and we need to pray, taking these matters serious, doses of shock is set to hit the region. Pray also against a master plan to eliminate the voice and the presence of some strong Igbo politicians in the political arena. Brethren, I am seeing exodus of people from different places to the east from now. It will bring so much good in large quantity, not without bad though, but it will happen. Somebody say exodus of good. I see cities springing up in different parts of this region from now that will attract international recognition. From the different cities, it will be discovered, some minerals will be discovered. Some minerals, some special herbs that will be of great interest to the international community are going to be discovered. Somebody say the Lord is good. I am seeing the presence of key white players in the whole of this setup. But our people need to be very much on the ground to take charge. Keep this information I'm going to tell you now in the cooler. Watch. The eastern region is about to have a fast, shocking development. Somebody says sudden development. Just like Dubai, a desert turned into an embracing crystal city. A few will have a kind of awakening mentally, as if a force woke them up into action. The result will attract tourists from across the globe to the east. God is standing with his people to make us a people of power. I am seeing a kind of union or organization among retired forcemen to help security-wise in this region. I am not certain when this is going to be, but it is coming. Somebody say Africa. Pay attention. Something is happening. Watch out on this. I don't understand this gathering properly, but there is something heating up in the spirit. And this thing will have a picture, or it will have the name Global Youth. The African youths, they are nursing a vision already, and it appears in the spirit that there have been meetings upon meetings with persons of like mind to achieve their aim. Prominent African young intellectuals within the ages of 50, 55, even 60s, they are strongly and suddenly behind these deliberations. Nations are coming together to form a formidable force against bad leadership and governance in Africa. They have already made concrete contacts to enable their vision, mission to succeed and actualize. And the aim and purpose, they are not going to fail. I see this movement recovering things and sanctioning people in certain quarters. Somebody say payback time. You didn't say it well. It's going to be more of intellectual force than political warfare. And you know the brain is powerful. Go and ask the youth what they did. They used brain. I didn't know Bitcoin. I didn't know much about Bitcoin. But during the SARS, the youth were kilometers ahead of the rest of us. Because I'm looking for a teacher. Yeah, I don't want to expire before my time. What I'm seeing in the years ahead under the organization of different African youths, hear me, this thing will take a lot of our leaders to ICJ, International Court of Justice, for all kinds of abuses of power and human rights. Payback time. Somebody say payback time. This thing I am talking about is not a Nigerian thing. It is going to be a global youth affair. Take notes and watch. It's going to be African uniformity for easy government and accountability and discipline. Banking industry. There is yet new machines. Somebody say machines that will come to play in the system so that a lot of staff may be asked to quit. Some may be asked to honorably resign and live quietly. In addition, there are frauds that are going on inside the bank that will be exposed. In the banking industry, this thing is going to throw the place into serious confusion. In fact, EFCC will be paying them some constant visit this year in some of the banks. Let's leave that one there. There is this hidden practice that has been existing in some of the banks that will be exposed. No matter how they try to cover it, Jehovah God will expose it. Armed robbery. Somebody say, oh God, save your people. Armed robbers are forming their own party now. Did you hear what I said? The nature of armed robbery attack that is coming, it can only be described as a terror visiting the land. This issue is going to be a national affair. A cartel. What did I say? A cartel of robbers connecting different states to do an organized business that will shake government. They are seriously warming up. They are doing their warm-up exercise. They will trouble the government particularly. They will deal with security forces mercilessly because their type of weapon they are carrying is out of this planet. There is going to be a mystical dimension to what they are doing. So that's why the church must pray. Powers have already been conjured by this cartel for control and seizing any environment they want to raid. So if you like, put the money inside the toilet papers. They will go there and bring it out for you. They have made covenant and deposited the powers in the elements to create a smooth atmosphere for their operation. People will willingly surrender at their appearance. Because I repeat, they are prepared to contend with the security men, prepared in every dimension, even to call for a backup. It's going to be bloody now than ever. Don't forget it. It is a cartel. We must start off dealing with the heavenlies to dislodge some things they have already deposited there, particularly in our environment. The airspace. We must pray seriously against terrible plane crash in Nigeria. Even the roads have become so bad, and our big men, they are now flying in the air. In one of the occasions, it happened dead in the night, and there was no help coming. Homes, life, property, all was gone. The next one was like it crashed into the woods, that none of the persons were recognized. Brethren, it's not going to be a good one, though, because different families will be thrown into money when these things here happen. Fire disaster. Families, please take notes. I'm warning every member of this ministry and all those who are here. Please, families, take notes. You must be very careful with inflammables. With their plants, some inflammable liquids that is of home use, they will cause a lot of damages to people, more painfully taking down lives of people and causing destruction in the neighborhood. So, all our plants this time, we need to be careful. Get a torch, not your handset for going to check your plants. Families, don't carry lantern to the plant house. Families should take time this year to observe their electrical circuit points and ensure that it is well switched off when it is not in use, to avoid a power surge when no one is at home or dead in the night when people are fast dead asleep. Because if anything goes wrong and there is power surge, it's going to destroy lives, certificates. It will throw people into bitter money. Please, let's pray for a cocker, because the issue of a cocker is a planned fire attack. And some people are targeted with that fire. Somebody say flood. We must pray seriously against that kind of flood that took place in 2001. Huh? Let's pray seriously. If it occurs, it is going to move giant walls, cause devastating erosion that will take almost a lifetime to fix. Part of the problem in the spirit is that a greater percentage of the soil have been affected, and they have become so weak and they can no more stand the heat of water of the flood. Even some parts of this car will be affected. So you better prepare if you're staying around the waterways. General issues. A new generation is forming. This new generation is an army. They are like an army, but they don't have uniform. They are made up of both youths and established intellectuals. There are organizations, platforms, and strategies. Their plan, they will be so unequal because they have something in their head. It is not just a Nigerian affair. This thing is an African thing. But Nigeria will champion it and will be at the forefront. Countries like Kenya, Ghana, Uganda, and a whole lot of others will give it a strong backing, a formidable force. It's not going to be an army forming just from within. Their strength and their strong backup is going to come from outside. Outside. These guys are in diaspora. The army I am talking about, they are connected to some strong world powers. Strong world institutions that will answer to them when and whenever they call. If the need arises, they will answer them. They will deal with issues of tribal distractions, and they will bring to bear capable individuals from across tribal lines to function. They will hold dialogue at different regions to know the people's pains and the way forward. The army I'm seeing is characterized by constructiveness, influence for the better Nigerian society and African governance. They will manifest distinguished qualities that will shock the powers that be globally by their demands. This army will X-ray past and present leaders. Hear me, it's going to be payback time. All misplaced wealth, mismanaged economy will be brought to book and accounted for. These guys have information, and their information is out of reach. Nothing can be manipulated or covered. They are coming with documentary evidence and sources, things that will make African continent and Nigeria in particular shake. Nigeria will convulse uncontrollably. And I say again, it's going to be payback time. Oka and its environs. We must pray seriously against 2 times terrible hot armed robbery attack in the city. It will be a terrible day there. Terrible. Terrible. Very terrible. It's going to be a strong outburst, confrontation with the security men that will leave some maimed, injured. Stray bullets will be destroying things. After which there will be a one-night showdown. That one-night showdown will take down both men of the force and ordinary citizens. Let's be careful. Those of you who love traveling in the night. Is somebody hearing me? Be careful with late night movement, particularly this first quarter, to avoid running into troubles. Please, this one calls for immediate action, prayer action. Immediately, we need to pray. And that's why, within the first week, we are ready to start a 3 days prayer chain, 24 hours, the whole fellowship.